Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. It's been 5 days since the terror attack in Pahalgam. As the nation mourns the 26 innocent lives lost, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reiterated his vow that the victims will get justice. The Prime Minister has stated that the terrorists will be served with the harshest punishment. Amidst this, and the world standing in solidarity with India, Pakistan is buckling. Shehbaz Sharif is calling for a neutral probe, and the Lashkar-e-Toiba proxy TRF has denied its role in the terror attack. Meanwhile, Pakistan remains in delusion, pointing fingers at US, accusing the Indian government of a false flag operation. Their media is rife with lies, constantly peddling Asim Munir's propaganda. Let's take a look at what their news outlets are in fact reporting on this incident and its fallout. So this is of course what one Pakistani publication of course is reporting currently. You can see this is their headline. Prime Minister Shehbaz welcomes Iran's willingness to help ease Pakistan-India tensions, obviously spilling the narrative to their effect, reiterates country's readiness to participate in transparent biased investigation into Pahalgam attack. Also of course saying far more mature to seek de-escalation through intermediation. There's an editorial on that, and another article on can Saudis help reduce the tension. This is of course what the Dawn publication there is reporting. Let's show you another publication and what it is reporting on the current situation. So you can see there what this publication ARY News is reporting. Pakistan seeks 10 billion yuan on China swap line, of course talking about something else there, but this is of course the segment on India where Khwaja Asif warns India of Pakistan's strong response to any aggression. That is being highlighted in that interview he gave of course to Sky News, but it's not of course being mentioned how he admitted in that interview Pakistan's backing and sponsoring of terror, of course giving the excuse that it was done because of the West. But still a candid admission there. Interestingly, that's not being spoken about at all. Then Bilawal slams India's decision to block water, warns of strong response, also being mentioned of in this publication in a very small sort of segment there. Meanwhile, you have this publication Geo News now, which has put out these sort of articles over here. You can see India using IIOJK attack as excuse to quit water treaty with Pakistan. Asif's statement there, we don't want this war to flare up because it can cause disaster for this region, is what the defense minister said. Pakistan's caused diplomatic win as UNSC statement buries India's ambitions in dust. They are trying to say that Security Council statement on Pahalgam attacks lacks strong language previously used for 2019 Pulwama, finding stories in a statement where there are clearly of course none. Also saying no handshake at muted Pakistan-India border after the Pahalgam attack. So interestingly, some articles there as well. Can India leave Pakistan high and dry by suspending Indus Waters Treaty? Hamid Mir has written an editorial on that. So that's what Geo News is reporting in the aftermath of this attack. Meanwhile, telling you now about what PTV is saying. Foreign Affairs expert Dr. Waqas Ali Kausar saying in our special transmission in Situation Room that India's media started making accusations one hour after the other, 1 hour after the incident. Also going ahead and saying, human rights analyst Nida Salam saying that India has never given any proof of past incidents. So that's what PTV is reporting on this particular attack. Meanwhile, Pakistan today, this is what they are saying on the incident. Pakistan knows how to defend its homeland. Their Chief of Army Staff giving this statement there, General Munir declaring efforts to undermine two-nation theory futile, saying Quaid-e-Azam had articulated this in clear, unequivocal terms, saying Indian media attempting to conceal facts through lies and propaganda. Pakistan open to neutral credible probe, talking of course about their thing. Interestingly, their statement made by Shehbaz Sharif, Naqvi reiterates Pakistan's call for impartial probe into Pahalgam attack, also saying PM Shehbaz has offered to cooperate. Our water or your blood will flow. Bilawal warns India in fiery speech. So that's of course something that Pakistan today now is reporting on this incident. Meanwhile, Pakistan Observer has this to say, will never compromise on dignity, security. PM Shehbaz, a big statement there of course that they are trying to bring about. Palestinian President Abbas extends support to India after Pahalgam attack. They've mentioned that in of course this headline as well, also going ahead and saying no compromise as water is a lifeline, warns PM Shehbaz also going ahead and saying Pakistan committed to peace. Foreign Office says but will not allow anyone to transgress its sovereignty. FIR in Pahalgam attack exposes Indian government's false flag operation against Pakistan. Senate unanimously passes resolution to respond to India decisively. Border closed, diplomats expelled, talking of course about what is happening there. Meanwhile, Express has this to say. Express of course is busy talking about Palak Tiwari and Ibrahim Ali Khan, it seems, and not really mentioning about Pakistan and this attack. But yes, you can see over here, of course, Indian attempt to attack Pakistan High Commission in London fails. They're trying to highlight what happened in London there, the protest there. Also saying if Iran wants to play a role for peace, we will welcome it, is what the Prime Minister said. And Pak's effective diplomacy fails to get India to include favorable words in resolution against Pahalgam incident. They're trying to highlight how their diplomacy has worked in the UN. This is another. Dunya has this to report. UNSC labels Jammu and Kashmir as disputed territory in condemnation of Pahalgam incident. They are trying to focus on that. Meanwhile, they are saying 60 women are stranded in Amritsar as India refuses a border crossing. Pakistan cancels visas of Indian broadcasters working for PSL 10. So trying to highlight how they have also taken some sort of action after our big decisions. Meanwhile, the news has this to say: India exploiting IIOJK attack as justification to end IWT with Pakistan. Also going ahead of course and saying that Pakistan delivers diplomatic blow to India at UNSC. Interestingly how they have spun that completely falsely, and as tensions rise with Pakistan, a moment of truth for India's military. I think that's an editorial there that they've tried to write. Okay, this is what Daily Pakistan is saying. History cannot be changed by propaganda, Pakistan Army Chief says. Cross line and face the wrath, Shehbaz warns India after Pahalgam attack. Also trying to say, has Pakistan been boosted by China's PL-15 long range missiles amidst tensions with India? So trying to show their partnership with India and of course China and what they have sourced from the Chinese. That's what Daily Pakistan has to say. Okay, let's open this up. Let's quickly get our guest reactions to these headlines and the propaganda that the false propaganda, might add, that the Pakistani media is spreading in the fallout of the attacks in Pahalgam. Ambassador Bashwati Mukherjee, former diplomat, what do you make of this? These headlines, the media of Pakistan and how they are reporting on what's happened at the UNSC and what's happened across our border as well?
From what you have read out to us, Uday, it's very clear that
Ambassador Mukherjee?
You can't hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I'm saying that from what you have read out, Uday, about the Pakistan media reaction, it is clear that they have been completely rattled and thrown off balance by our decision to suspend the Indus Waters Treaty. That is the most important issue. We have demonstrated that with this one measure, it's like a kinetic action measure, we will cut off water to Pakistan Punjab, and we are not obliged to give any data, because of which they are allegedly complaining that there has been some moderate flooding in POK. In addition, it appears that as usual they've fallen back on their favorite argument about mediation. So they've called upon Iran to mediate. They're asking Saudi Arabia to mediate. In the meantime, they have acknowledged that they are the epicenter of terrorism, and that they used to do this dirty work apparently for the Americans, and then they got stuck with it. In other words, they have not said that they are not involved in the terror attack, this heinous terror attack in Pahalgam. What they were probably not expecting was this slew of diplomatic measures and the suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty while we decide what to do next. Secondly, they seem to have forgotten that even for Kargil, the Americans had adjoined upon us that we should not cross the LOC. That was a very difficult feat, particularly for the Indian Air Force. I recall when Air Chief Marshal Tipnis was there, we did not cross the LOC, but we got back Kargil and we drove out the intruders. In today's modern methods of warfare, it is not necessary to cross borders anymore. And we will of course decide on our options without discussing them naturally on national TV. But when the appropriate time comes to take measures, we will definitely do that in order to demonstrate that such an attack cannot go unavenged. In the meantime, the search continues for the terrorists who are holed up in the forest and their local collaborators. But it is very clear that the Pakistani action did not go down well with the local population of Kashmir. They observed a Black Day. There has been solidarity. There has been black bands worn in the Friday prayers all over India. So therefore, no matter what the Pakistanis say or do, it is clear that Prime Minister Modi's Vikas initiative and the measures that have been taken by the union government for the development of Kashmir, its tourism, its restaurants, etc., have brought a new prosperity to Kashmir that the local people are not willing to lose. It is also heartening to know that tourists are coming back, including to Pahalgam, also demonstrating that there is an emotional connect between the people of Kashmir and India, which Pakistan and its false narratives can do nothing to dislodge. So I would say that, and Bilawal Bhutto's ridiculous speech reminds me of his grandfather, who said that every Pakistani will eat grass, but they will grow a nuclear bomb. It seems to me that this kind of false and ridiculous narrative is deep in the DNA of the Bhuttos, and it has manifested itself this time in Bilawal. I don't know whose blood is going to spill.
Right.
It's certainly not going to be Indian blood.
Okay. You know, as a media professional, I can understand that media can leave a strong impression on people. It clearly is doing that in Pakistan as well. We showed you what Pakistani publications had to say. Let's tell you what Pakistanis are saying on social media platforms meanwhile as well. Let's in fact have a look at what they are saying. Of course, Farid Khan has this to say, a user of course on X. He is saying Pakistan wants peace. We are the most peaceful nation in the world. Alamudillah. Very interesting, of course, there, saying we are the most peaceful nation in the world. I don't know what world he is living in, Farid Khan. Lord Wajid Khan meanwhile has this to say, Pakistan is home to many different faith groups. It was wonderful to see this diversity firsthand. Promoting religious harmony is key to building more peaceful and safe societies. I am proud that the UK remains a firm champion of religious tolerance. That's what Lord Wajid Khan has to say. Again, I don't know which sort of world he is living in. Meanwhile, Abdullah has this to say, you will be dealt with accordingly. Look at him. He's roaming around, of course, this individual on the Pakistani streets in a plane on a bike. I don't know if he thinks that's going to be attacking India. Look at that. That shows how Pakistan is attempting to attack India on this sort of vessel. Abdullah, they are saying you will be dealt with accordingly. Okay. Meanwhile, Pakistan on the verge of default, but at least we've got a good sense of humor. Look at this individual, homeless but yet wearing Gucci shoes. Homeless person wearing Gucci shoes. Pakistan on the verge of default, but at least we got good sense of humor. That is the state of Pakistan. They want to wear Gucci shoes. They are generals. They want to send their children abroad, but yet it is bankrupt, yet it is homeless, yet it is on the streets. As you can see, they are sleeping on the roads. Okay, that's what this red slanty person is saying on the platform X. Meanwhile, Senator Dr. Afnanullah Khan has this to say, I am really surprised by the low level of IQ of Indian social media trolls. They genuinely believe everyone is hungry in Pakistan and there is no infrastructure and no jobs. They should visit Pakistan to see what they are missing. Don't believe Indian media and cinema. Okay, that's what Senator Dr. Afnanullah Khan has to say. Meanwhile, Abdul Rafi has this to say, जंग होगी तो दो रिश्तेदारों को गोली मारकर इल्ज़ाम इंडियन आर्मी पर लगा दूंगा. कमाल है जी, कमाल है. ये देखो, ये कह रहे हैं कि हर चीज़ का इल्ज़ाम इंडियन आर्मी पे डलेगा पाकिस्तान में, तो मैं तो अपने रिश्तेदारों को मार दूंगा और वो भी कहेंगे इंडियन आर्मी ने किया है. That's what that user had to say there. Adnan Khan has this to say, Pakistan stands for peace but is fully capable of defending itself. India's panic is evident. The bravery of our armed forces sent a strong signal. I don't know which world Adnan is living in. How are we panicking? I don't understand. Pakistan stands for peace, he's saying. कमाल है, यही पीस आप पहलगाम में दिखा रहे हैं लगता है अदनान जी. Aiza has this to say: Pakistan has always stood for peace despite India's constant provocations. The world needs to see India's aggressions for what it is, unjust and oppressive. This is what this person Aiza has to say. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and show you some other comments coming in. This is what this Mukmuk person has to say. Let me clarify on behalf of Pakistani people, we don't hate any Hindu and Indians. We respect what everyone believes. We only care about oppressed communities in India. We aren't people of war, but God forbid if any war is waged on us, we will take you to deep waters. कमाल है साहब, कैसे डीप वाटर आप ले जाएंगे उसी जेट से जो बाइक पे आपके मित्र चला रहे हैं पाकिस्तान की सड़कों पे. शॉकिंग. सबा बशीर, सिक्योरिटी इश्यूज की वजह से पाक इंडिया जंग दुबई में होगी. सबा बशीर मेक्स अ जोक सेइंग द वॉर मस्ट हैपन नाउ इन दुबई. सिक्योरिटी इश्यूज की वजह से आईपीएल की तरह ये भी दुबई मूव करते हैं. ह्यूमंस ऑफ पाकिस्तान हैज दिस टू से: पूछना ये था कि करेंसी यही चलेगी या चेंज करवा लें. चौधरी बिलाल हैज टू से दिस. ओके, सेइंग दैट द करेंसी perhaps also might go down the drain in Pakistan if there is any aggravation by India. यार इंडिया से कहो कुछ दिन रुक जाए, मेरा पार्सल आने वाला है. So बद दुआ दे humans of Pakistan making this joke, of course, saying that please ask Indians to wait, मेरा पार्सल आने वाला है. अगर कुछ कर दें तो खत्म है पाकिस्तान, लगता है पार्सल भी नहीं पहुंच पाएगा आपके पास. Memes of Pakistan meanwhile has this to say: what is luck? There are 195 countries and I was born in Pakistan. Okay. So clearly, of course, this person is saying, look at my luck, 195 countries across the world, meri phooti kismat, I am born in Pakistan, and put a photo of Pakistan there. Call me Pakistan, कुछ भी गलत होता है नाम मेरा लग जाता है, यकीन रख भाई पहलगाम में जो हुआ. चलिए जी, तो ये भी अपने ही दुनिया में दानिश जवार साहब कह रहे हैं कि कुछ भी गलत होता है नाम मेरा लग जाता है. भाई आप प्रूफ तो देखिए, तब आपको पता होगा कि क्यों आपका नाम ही लगता है. दुनिया भर के आतंकवादी आपने खुद के धरती पे रखे हुए हैं, इसलिए आपका नाम लगता है. जफार साहब. Okay, more this we of course showed you already. Chirag Lucky has this to say. He's in Colombo. He's tweeting this: Indus Treaty is Pakistan's sovereignty. No war, peace. Pakistan is a very beautiful nation. Its people are known for their hospitality, warmth, and resilience. There's a deep sense of tradition, family values, and cultural pride. You will find love and peaceful people here. I think yes, there is a lot of hospitality and warmth, Mr. Chirag, for the terrorists. You clearly have a lot of hospitality that you show your terrorists, which is why they love setting up their terror camps only in Pakistan. Okay, these are comments coming in from Instagram and Facebook. You can see. Professor Madhav Nalapat, let me get you in here on these comments. Professor Nalapat, this is what the ordinary Pakistan also citizen is showing. Some of them in fool's paradise, some of them understand the reality of what pathetic state their country is in.
Look, Uday, nobody is living in paradise, and the people are not fools. They know that. But if they say something different, well, heaven help them. You can go up to this limit. So many countries, and I was born here. You can interpret it that I was so lucky to be born here, out of 195. So the point is that this is done out of sheer fear of the consequences if they go differently from the military line. Pakistan has a history with India of doing all kinds of horrible things and then being let off the hook. And this very tolerant country has ensured that the minorities have been completely removed. Christians, Buddhists, Hindu, and the Shia are discriminated against. Ahmadiyas are very, very cruelly discriminated against, very odd really. But Ahmadiyas were among those who were clamoring for Pakistan. And that is the kind of country that is called kind-hearted and all that. These memes were provided by the military, and they're provided for dissemination around the world. The reality is, this is a terror state. It's a terror state, and finally people are waking up to that reality. It has to be treated as a terror state. It has to be sanctioned. It has to be ostracized. And frankly, they have gone too far this time. They have put to, frankly, their own terror industry has put to shame any sense of human dignity or pride that is left there. And believe me, I can tell you that no one is going to fall for this kind of drivel, this kind of rubbish that we have been listening to. The reality is, everybody knows the truth about Pakistan, and the truth is there in plain sight. What happened to minorities? Christians, Hindus, what happened to them? What's happening to the Shia? What's happening to Ahmadiyas? What's happening to those in Sindh, Balochistan, Pashtunistan? Why are these people in revolt? Why are these provinces in revolt? Why are they wanting to separate from Pakistan? Is it because it's such a paradise? It's a very weird kind of paradise. I think the problem is that the military mistakes, hell for paradise. Or rather, it knows it's in hell, but it can't admit it. Why? Because the hell created by the Pakistan military. The Pakistan military, the whole region has frankly suffered as a consequence of this military. And Pakistan has suffered enormously as a consequence of it. So I just want to say, Uday, what we heard is laughable, but the reality is 90% of those saying them realize they're talking rubbish. They have to do it to please the army, but if you don't please the army, there's a very unpleasant fate waiting for you. Imran Khan has stood up to the military. He's kept a stiff spine. If he does that and continues to do that, it's the first time the Bhuttos caved in,
Absolutely.
the Wahhabis caved in, the Sharifs caved in, everybody caved in. But so far, and I'm no admirer of Imran Khan, as you'll see, the man has kept his spine. He would have been released tomorrow had he kowtowed to the military.
Absolutely.
So
which is why, of course, he continues to languish in jail and his candidates are not being allowed to contest elections. But let me, in fact, address some more news coming in now. Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir has once again invoked the two-nation theory. He's asserted Muslims and Hindus are two distinct nations. His comments come just days after he called Kashmir Pakistan's jugular vein at a diaspora event. Speaking at the passing out parade at the Pakistan Military Academy in Kakul in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, he stated Muslims are distinct from Hindus in all aspects of life, religion, customs, traditions, thinking and aspirations. Meanwhile, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has once again reiterated his call for a neutral probe. He expressed this again while speaking with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. Sharif stating that Pakistan desires peace in the region and condemns terrorism. What's interesting is that Pakistan has repeatedly proven how they are not keen to bring victims of terror to justice. Remember, of course, there has been little progress on the Mumbai attacks dossiers. There is also lack of action on the Pathankot FIR in Gujranwala, and the attack masterminds are all at large. Zakir Rahman, Lakwi, Hafiz Saeed, they're all being sheltered by Pakistan. In another development, Pakistan Minister Hanif Abbasi has openly threatened India with nuclear retaliation, warning Pakistan's arsenal including Ghori, Shaheen, Ghaznavi missiles along with 130 nuclear warheads are all being kept only for India. Abbasi stated that if India dares to halt Pakistan's water supply by suspending the Indus Water Treaty, it should prepare for a full-scale war. He's also said the nuclear weapons are not for display, their locations are hidden across the country, but they're ready to strike if provoked.
उन्होंने कह दिया ना कि अगर हमारा पानी बंद करेंगे तो फिर जंग के लिए तैयार हो जाएं। ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं। बाबा, ये जो 130 एटॉमिक हमारे पास वेपन है, वो हमने सिर्फ मॉडल बनाने के लिए नहीं रखे हुए, और आपको पता ही नहीं कि हमने पाकिस्तान के किस किस हिस्से में रखे हुए हैं। ये दुनिया भी जानती है, आप भी जानते हैं, वरना आप तो इतने मक्कार बनिए हैं कि अभी तक पाकिस्तान के ऊपर कई दफा हमलावर हो चुके होते। आपने बड़ी दफा कोशिश की, लेकिन जब आपको पता चला कि हमारे शाहीन जो है फिजाओं में आ गए हैं, तो आप भाग गए। जो शाहीन है, गौरी है, ये मैं फिर दोहराने लगा हूं, ये हमारे चौकों में नहीं है, ये हमारे बिल्कुल आप इनका रुख आपकी तरफ है और किसी की तरफ नहीं है। तो इसलिए ये सोचना भी ना कि आप पाकिस्तान की हदूद को क्रॉस करोगे, अगर सोचोगे भी तो उसका खमियाजा आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा।
Ambassador Bhashpati Mukherjee continues to be with us. Ambassador Mukherjee, new statements coming in from Pakistan. One of their ministers warning of nuclear retaliation. Shehbaz Sharif saying that they want a neutral probe into the attack, and You have, of course, General Asim Munir, who again has made a provocative statement trying to re-emphasize the two-nation theory and saying that people of Muslim faith and people of Hindu faith are very different.
As far as the latter statement is concerned, he made a similar statement earlier. The motive is very clear. It's to start communal riots in India after the Pahalgam attack by taking the view, reiterating the view that there have always been two nations in India as far back as when Islam came to India for the first time, and that is the Hindu and the Muslim nation. This is something that is being spouted now in order to, they must have seen with dismay the public spiritedness of the normal Kashmiri people as to this attack, and they want now to start communal riots all over India to demonstrate that the Muslim in India is not an Indian. His heart and soul belongs to Pakistan. As far as the threat to use nuclear weapons is concerned,
yes,
it is well known, Uday, that the Americans, they are in American custody. That has been the rumor and the grapevine for a very long time now, that the Americans would never allow such lethal nuclear weapons in the custody of these mad generals in Pakistan, because there is no civilian control over their nuclear weapons, and nor have they ruled out first strike as we have. This is what is called in Hindi a false dhamki. We are prepared for it. Whenever they have felt desperate, they have used this dhamki. The point here is they never ever thought that the Indian government led by Prime Minister Modi would suspend the Indus Water Treaty, something that we should have done decades ago. There is no going back on it, and they will suffer the full consequences for it, regardless of what Bilawal Bhutto says or this mad general says. The point here is that they should also remember that we have nuclear weapons under civilian custody, and that we are not going to sit here quietly while they unleash their so-called nuclear arsenal on us.
Right.
That is not to happen, and they are a bankrupt nation who's living a hand-to-mouth existence from money given by IMF, World Bank, etc. Even the China stopped giving. So I think we should just ignore such ridiculous comments.
All right.